Alright, hello and welcome to an InkDependence.com brief video review and water drop test. Today we have Delta Orange. This is one that I've only just gotten, so I haven't used it all that long. And I don't really care for it all that much. I've been using it in this pen right here, which is a Rotring Core. If you're not familiar with these, they are the craziest looking pen around, and I love the darn things. And look at that, it's very cool. I got this as a trade from another pen or rather from a guy named Keith, who is at randomthinks on Instagram.com. Go and check him out. He already has a lot of followers, but nevertheless, good dude, and he loves orange. So he sent me this pen as a trade, and in it, or with it, I should say, he included a couple of cartridges of this stuff, which is Delta Orange, he says. And you can see it's a very light ink. I mean, you can sort of see through it there. But I wasn't ready for how light it was going to be on the page, and I think it's kind of too light for me to use, really. I mean, it's just light orange, basically. It's just too pale, I think, is the problem. So if you look here, you can see that it is a nice orange color if you're looking for something very bright. I think maybe this would make a decent highlighter ink. Perhaps that's kind of what it was intended for. And actually looking at the ink online, I found that in the bottle you can really see through the bottle and the ink and the whole thing. So it's not very saturated. So a good highlighter ink? Yeah, maybe. I don't have any pens really would be any good to be a highlighter, so I can't test that. But if you use it as a highlighter color, let me know. I'd be interested to know how it goes. The flow seems fine. If thin, no real problems there. It doesn't bleed, feather, or spread, although I wasn't really expecting it to, given that it's very sort of undersaturated and that sort of thing. No shading, no sheen, really. And maybe a little bit of shading right here. You can sort of see, but that's pretty much it. And that's just because this is Rhodia and it's kind of a thin ink without very much viscosity. So I'll zoom in here a little bit. And I've got here a few other yellow things. This Mont Blanc Golden Yellow actually is an ink that I reviewed a little while ago, and it looks very dark here because it hasn't been used in that pen in a while, and so I think it's kind of condensed a bit. It's generally a lot lighter than that. Apache Sunset. My favorite orange right now is this Ackerman Orange Bovin. I forget the number of that one. They usually have a number, but Orange Bovin, that is really good. I can't recommend this one highly enough. Delta Orange, not so much. I'm probably going to take it out of this pen and maybe refill that cartridge with I can't refill it with Orange Bovin. I've used it all up. Darn. Anyway, I'll try it with something else. But I've got Prairie Reserve Copper Burst, which I thought would be more orangey, but it's more of a brown. And then Apache Sunset, which I've just broken open a sample of. I've never really used Apache Sunset before, which is weird, but I've always used Habanero, which is kind of close. Apache Sunset is darker, though. It's a darker orange than Habanero, and I think it has more shading. But I haven't used that one very much. Definitely a heavy shader on that one. All right, let's see how this does as a water test. I'm not expecting much at all. Oh, what have I done with my my chromatography strip? Seems to have gone. I found it. Good. We can continue. All right, here we go. Let's put this on there. It'll work better than it did last time. There we go. All right. Whoop. Got a lot, but what are you gonna do? All right. And it's gonna be maybe a little hard to tell if any has come up here because it's so pale to begin with, but I think we'll probably be able to tell. Come on. There. Oof. Oh, it's a cat hair. That's probably Eclipsy Cat. And yeah, not much here, but there wasn't much to begin with. Here, though, nothing. Yeah, it really came off totally. Oops, got a little bit of blue on there from the edge. But yeah, no water resistance at all. This is probably the least water resistance I've seen in anything so far. So, you know, there you go. Not water resistant. Don't count on this one to resist water. It's not gonna. And I'm not real surprised because I have seen the chromatography. And there it is. Yeah, good. We got the white balance going. There. So, this one was, of course, here, as you saw in the side-by-side. And it's entirely gone from there. As you can see the orange up here, but nothing down here. In the middle, you know, a little bit. I gotta say, this ink reminds me of nothing so much as like orange creamsicles or dreamsicles, I think was the brand name for those back in the day. I really liked dreamsicles. I like them more than I like this ink, unfortunately. It's not going to be a favorite. There it is on the copy paper. You can see no bleed, feather, or spread, which is great. That's good, good behavior. And well, here's the bleed. There you go. Nothing. So that's cool. If there's one thing you can say for this ink for sure, it's that it does not have a problem with bleeding. So that's good. All right. This has been a real brief review of Delta's Orange. This comes in fairly small bottles. They look kind of like the bottles from Quaco and some of those others, but you can find these at your favorite retailers. I hope. I actually don't know where Delta's sold much. I'll put links on the blog to places you can find this ink if you like. But definitely, I would try out some of these other oranges instead. Diamine Orange, which isn't on this this comparison, is also a very good orange. In fact, it looks a lot like Orange Bovin. I believe I'm going to try it out next, see if they really are kind of a dupe. But yeah, this one's too light. So there you go. All right, I am Mike. This is Delta's Orange, and this is inkdependence.com. Go to the blog at inkdependence.com to find all sorts of pictures and such like that for this ink and many others, hundreds of others, I guess. This has something like 500 posts, and not all of those are inks, but whoa, a lot of posts. Anyway, so there's that. If you're asking yourself, how can I support this blog? Well, the way you can support this blog is not through ads. I am ad-free. I would like to stay that way. But rather through patreon.com, which allows my viewers to go ahead and be a patron directly and not give their money to Google and their odd algorithms and things like that. I'm not really into that. I would rather just, if I'm giving you value and you want to give me some value back in the form of cash money, that'd be awesome. Go to www.patreon.com/inkdependence to find out how you too can help to give as little or as much as you want. I'm not going to talk you out of giant checks, but every dollar helps. So thanks very much to my current patrons. Love y'all. And to all my future patrons, hey, good to meet you. So peace out. This is Mike. Bye.